Ooh. Ooh. Bam, we're live. Ooh, this doesn't look good. That is a tough connection. Am I stuttering, guys? Something does not seem right. How jacked is my connection? Can you guys hear me okay? Am I coming in clear? Good morning, Mad Marv. What's up? What's up, Kenneth? Eric Weiss, Coach Ken, Paulina. Hi, Paulina. What's up, girl? Jessica Valenzuela. Good morning, friends. Fanny Spiegel, Rambler. Okay, my connection looks good now. It's weird. My computer switched Wi-Fi networks. Alex Peters, what's up, dude? What's up, dude? Or what's up, girl? What's up, dude? Kevin Smith, good morning. Omar, Dane Gleebles. Dane Gleebles? Dangly balls. Dangly balls. Dangly balls. Yeah. Finally. God, have you been just waiting for me to read that name? That's good. That's good. Haley Brandon. Good morning. Mr. David. Good morning. Marissa. Hinojosa. George from the United States Marine Corps. Jacqueline Robertson. Dang. Oh, Mary. Crazy. I was thinking about you this morning. I was standing when I was thinking about you. I was vertical. Hey, man. How at the first I'm like, man, I forgot my toe spacers at home. That sucks. And then I started thinking, what's the deal with the different levels of toe spacers? What's the deal? I'm telling you, competitive toe spacing. Here's the deal. By the way, it looks like Pedro's joining us on Friday's CrossFit Games update show. I'm excited about that. That means he has to stay up to he has to set his alarm at 2:30 a.m. because we all know Pedro lives in Ireland at the bottom of the rainbow. But what about Pedro said that it's difficult to get the toe spacers on because his toes are so jacked. So I'm guessing his shit's all like LeBron's foot. Have you ever seen pictures of that where the toes are all smashed and mangled together? So he says even getting the toe spacers on is like crazy. But dude, I'm telling you, Miss Toe Spacer, Mary Mansour, I need the I'm Vax toe spacer. Like, you know what I mean? Like it comes in yellow and it's got like a needle, like a needle with 2 thumbs up. So I can let everyone know that I'm vaxxed. And then the colored toe spacer. Am I allowed to say that? Colored toe spacer. It's not fair that there's only black ones. It's not fair. I'm saying this all as a joke because I like trying to be funny, but I'm dead serious. No clink. No clink. No clink. I don't know if I can tell you why, but there's no clink. Hey, Laura wouldn't let him come on. Let's just say that. There. Fine. No clink. Laura called him, said, nope, you can't come on the show. Now, no matter how many times I tell you that that's not true, that will spread across the internet like a slow burning fire. Philip, are you on a plane right now? Are you headed south? Oh shit, Rambler knows stuff. Really? Is it over on his IG? Let me see. Graham. Adam Klink. How about Vivek last night? Just kicking the shit out of people. Oh my god! It was funny when Christie called him a Chat GPT, sounding like Obama, but then he just torched Christie back by saying, "Yeah, that's why you hugged Obama up here on stage." Okay. Oh, Adam Klink. Let's see what's going on. He got. Oh no, Mr. Klink. Oh no, I hate a post that starts like this. Adam Klink, life isn't defined by the finish. The fuck it ain't. Adam Klink, life isn't defined by the finish line. Adam. Whole reason why you're famous is because of what you did at the finish line. It's about the people we find along the way. Oh, Jesus. Laura Horvat, how is this guy? How is this guy in your corner? Let me pull it. I don't know what I did to be surrounded by this group of people. No questions asked kind of people. The team before self kind of people. The I'm not leaving your side at the hospital kind of people. I've learned how easy it is for even strangers to stand by our side when excitement and success surrounds us, but it's true friends who stay next to us in our struggles. Grateful, love you guys. Oh, shit. What the that is some cryptic shit. You should run for office. What the hell is going on with Mr. Klink? Mary knows something. Mary Mansour. Oh, when I had rhabdo, my CK levels were at 21,000. I don't what the fuck is going on? Do you guys hear my text messages going off? Is that loud? Let's see what's I don't understand. What's going on with Adam Klink? What is going on? We lived to fight another day, another epic race, but unfortunately it didn't go as planned. I gave it everything I had, but my body had other plans. I'm back and recovering now. Thank you to everyone for all the support and messages. I'll get back to you soon. Just so you guys know, Adam was running, I think, or it appears here to be more accurate, walking 100 miles. And it sounds like something happened. Adam made it through Twin Lakes over Hope Pass and is headed to the Winfield turnaround. His second Hope Pass summit is coming up. Then he'll head back to the crew at Twin Lakes to pick up a pacer for the night shift. Klink is feeling good, keeping a solid pace, keeping food down. He's about 7 miles out from the halfway point. Okay, so something happened. Oh, did I have this guy on the podcast? Zach Bitter? I think I did. Right? That was a long time ago. You guys ever you guys know on Instagram there's 3 boxes. Have you seen that? There's the general box. Then there's like your friends box. There's 2 boxes, primary and general. I don't even know. And I don't even know why there's 2, but and then there's another box that's called requests. And I always forget about that box. And I went in there yesterday. Holy shit. I spent from about 9:05, 9:15. I don't know what time. Whenever I got off the podcast last night, I sat up in bed and tried to accept all those requests. The way Instagram is set up now is such a mess. It's horrible for my business, my podcasting business. Because if I send someone a DM, I can't send them a second DM until they accept that first one. So if you can't be like, you can't invite someone to the podcast and they not see it, and then you be like, hey, I want to bump this to the top, because people don't see shit. My notifications are as loud as Greg's. Really? What the fuck is going on here? Maybe I'll just lower it. How about, okay. How's that? I think it's because it's on my computer, and normally I have that shit turned down. Okay. That won't happen again. Thank you. How's that? Was that better? Someone just text me. Alex Peters, dear Adam Klink, David Goggins would have pushed through. Jeez. Those were Greg's on the other show. For some reason, my computer was on full blast. Oh, that's because last night, after the show, me and Hiller and Caleb sat around and talked shit for 30 minutes. Trump knows to debate Vivek only gives Vivek a platform. Vivek won't get enough notice from electorate as long as Trump acts like he's not there. Smart, but disappointing as an outsider. Man, Vivek just fucking dudes up last night. Do you think those guys are scared? Like when they go on the stage, do you think that they just know that like, boy, and Nikki Haley just sounded like a dope. Nikki Haley sounded like, they all kind of sound like dopes because they don't say anything. Unfortunately, DeSantis and Vivek are the only ones who say anything. And by that, I mean, let me say something. They actually tell you what their policies are, right? So like they tell you what they're going to do. Like, he's like, Vivek yesterday is basically like, climate change is the wet blanket on the economy. It's a complete hoax. And so you know where he stands. And then Nikki Haley's like, we need to make sure she won't answer the question, whether it's a hoax or not, or whether there's any true science behind it. And so she's like, we need to make sure there's clean water. Okay. But the question is is climate change real? Should it be affecting our economy and our lifestyle? Should we be making choices based on the fact that we're concerned that we're going to cook ourselves on the planet? He's voted in 2 elections. What does that have to do with anything? How does that fall into your judgment at all? I don't get how that's a factor at all. Coach Ken, why not give moderators a mute button? I like the back and forth. I thought it was good. Even when she yelled Vivek down, I was okay with it. I was like, okay, she's passionate. I'm cool with it. But man, she's a doorknob. The thing is they talk down to they talk down to the American people. Everything's just vague. And then she said something woke. She drew a distinction between men as leaders and women as leaders. And right then, she's completely lost me because you couldn't say it the other way. What did she say? She said the difference between men and women is men talk about action, women take action. I'm paraphrasing. The difference between men and women is, Nikki, you take cock and I give cock. I mean, what if he would have said that? That would have been the only truth. That would have been more true than what she said. But for some reason, and the crowd cheered for that. I think that there's a lot of woke people on the right too. Sevy, what's woke mean? Meaning there's a lot of different aspects of it. You know, it's a diamond. It's got a bunch of sides. But one of the things is that people just make up what they want to hear, right? Like Hitler's like, I want organic farms. That was like one of his huge things, right? And everyone's like, yeah. They don't ask how he's going to. I'm going to build I'm going to build the world's largest organic farm, and fucking everyone on the left is cheering, yeah. And the next thing you know, but first he's got to kill everyone in the Ukraine to because that's where he's going to make his farm. But they don't care. They just make shit up in their head. People on the right are like that too. Just trapped in their head, hearing what they want to hear. I couldn't listen to the entire thing. I couldn't find it anywhere. I searched on my phone for 20 fucking minutes. So I eventually just started watching it in clips. And anywhere I went that I could watch the whole thing, there was some jackass at the bottom. It was never like on Fox or on CNN or something. It was always somewhere with like some dude's account where he's like chiming in like a ding dong. Yeah. They all teamed up on him when he said that they were all bought. I heard that too, but it's true. It is true. They all have taken money. Yeah, he put it. Vivek was great. Sean Sullivan, DeSantis is the only one who actually put his policies into action. The state of Florida is the best run state in the country. I mean, he does have that for him. The fact that he can point to places where he's put his shit in action. I'm telling you, those two are the only two where you can walk away and be like, he said this. Vivek and DeSantis. The others are just dancing. I want clean water. What's that mean? Who doesn't want clean water? It's just empty bullshit. Oh wow, really? Vivek on Sean Ryan's show is pretty impressive. I don't think anyone can hang with the guy in long format medium. Yeah, he's amazing. I mean, he torched Bill Maher. It's almost like you didn't do. Oh, did you see him on the Breakfast Club? That show, that's the show out of L.A. with the guy named Charlemagne. That show should be taken out into a field and just let it live out its last few days until. And that is a pathetic show. Talk about something that's rots the intellect of humanity. Holy shit! Every time I see a clip from that show, I'm like, what's going on over there? Who listens to that? That's the dummy hour. It is so bad. It's not funny, it's not entertaining, it's not intellectually provocative, it's disappointing. Woke, presenting extremist views on sexuality, socio-political culture, economics as progressive and virtuous. Yeah, it's not it's not specific enough for me. Like I don't think pedophilia is like extremist sex. I think it's worse than that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's worse than that. I think woke is I think you can really pin it down to some psycho. I mean, we all have pieces of woke in us. There's some huge illogical. There's some characteristic that manifests from being completely illogical, like trying to put pedophilia in the sex category, like trying to say make the connection that 2 plus 2 is 4 is racist because there's only one answer. Like there's just a huge misstep somewhere where it just leaves the landscape of logic that needs to be in the definition. It's when you're insisting on something inside of your head is true. I'm taking 2 weeks off the calendar, and then all of a sudden you think, let's say we got rid of August, all the woke people would think that they're going to die a month sooner because they lost a month because it was taken off the calendar. Like they're just so confused. I'm voting. If I vote at all, I'll vote for Vivek all day, every day. I saw, what's crazy is I saw this is really going to piss some of you off. And I apologize. I really don't want to piss some of you off, but I saw this post the other day. Someone sent it to me. It's a screenshot. It's from Reddit. And it says something like, "Hey, really cool to see Tyson Bagent on a show. Too bad it's on a show where the guy has more conspiracy theories than blah, blah, blah." And I'm thinking to myself, I don't have one conspiracy theory. I don't think the earth is flat. I don't think 9/11 was an inside job. I don't think Hawaii was a laser beam. I don't I don't um I don't believe in like any Illuminati or any I don't believe in like I don't believe in any of that shit. I'm like, wow, this is a I'm happy to think about those things. I'm not afraid to think about those things, but I don't think any of those things are true. I don't even know what to think about Epstein's Island. I didn't even see that movie Covenant. I can't when I hear that there's 2 million kids being sex trafficked in the United States, I call complete bullshit on that. It's like how is that possible? That means one out of every 150 people walking around is a sex trafficked person. There's no fucking way. Now, but I'm open to talk about it and think about it. But to call me a conspiracy theorist by nature, that's fucking nuts. I don't I don't think I'm way more along the line of just there's conspiring interests, but not conspiracy, but not even like whenever I hear about this whole BlackRock thing and Vanguard, it's It's our money that's in there. It's our money that's in there. It's all of us who have our 401ks in those companies. I mean, we're as guilty as anybody. We're people. They could be pointing. Well, they want us to do that because they keep our money with us. Aliens? No, I don't. I don't believe in aliens either. Nope. I mean, like way out there, way out there, way out there. I don't think I'm a conspiracy theorist. I think I lack the arrogance to I lack the arrogance to think I know some things and everything, and I have the freedom in my brain to think about a lot of shit that probably scares other people. Jake Chapman, woke is the fraudulent claim of the stupid and desperate to an understanding of matters outside of their capacity to impress their kin. Yeah, that's kind of like that's not a definition, but that's an observation of a characteristic, right? Definition of a man isn't that he's hairy, but that is one of his characteristics. Chester. I don't think you name your kid Chester. I don't think you do that. I'm not. I don't support that. Let me talk to your parents. Have your parents call in. I want to talk to them. It's a nice name. A very nice name. I just don't think you name your kid that, Chester. Does it really matter who the GOP candidate is? We can't have 4 more years of what's going on now. I don't want to agree with you, but I don't know how to disagree with that. So I'm just going to stick with attacking your name. Yeah, you can't have 4 more years of what's going on. Vivek is CEO collab. I've been bugging him. I've been trying to bug him any way I know how. Someone sent me a DM and they said, "Hey, this lady took 3rd place at the CrossFit Games." I'm like, "Oh, cool." And then they're like, "And her brother or husband or something in her life that has a penis is one of Vivek's campaign managers or something." So I sent her a DM. "Hey, what's up? Congratulations on your victory at the games." I think that's okay to do that. Cozy up to her to get to her brother or brother-in-law or father-in-law or some shit. Vivek will fold at the first sign of resistance from the deep state. Dude sounds like he'll negotiate the rights to half the bed with his wife's lover. Holy shit. Wow. Wow. Vittorio, Vivek's typical politician. He'll be eaten up by the swamp like everyone else, relying on the government. It's your first mistake. It's in local government where you make changes. All right. I can go with that second part. I don't think that first part is I think that's premature. Krista Podham, probably same gene pool as Vivek with that last name. They probably think your thoughts on vaccines are a conspiracy because they can't accept facts. Well, they're fucking crazy then. They're crazy. Hey, if you want to be like, here's where you would have to like prove me wrong on all that. You'd have to be like, there's a typo on the CDC website that got replicated 800 times on the FDA website, on this website, and I would be like, oh, okay. I mean, you can go straight to the Los Angeles Times and look at, there was, I don't know, it was a few years ago, there was a measles outbreak in Disneyland. And half the kids who got the measles were vaccinated. So I started, that's in the most liberal lying mag ever. Remember, the LA Times is the one that called Larry Elder a white man in blackface. They called a black dude that. Now, I don't care that they called him that. I think it's funny. But they're supposed to be defending people of with melanated skin like to the end of the world, and then they just attack one because he doesn't toe the line in the worst possible way ever by by taking away his blackness, dude, crazy. That paper, you can go in there and look, and half the people who got the measles at Disneyland were vaccinated. So then you start digging further and you start looking for interviews of doctors when they ask, well, how did those kids get the measles if they were vaccinated? And the only doctor that gave an answer was, oh, maybe they got a bad batch of the vaccine. It was like on some local news station. Maybe. I'm like, what? You can look up right now. You can Google leading cause of polio 2023. You know what it is? It's the fucking vaccine. It's just, there is no conspiracy. There's just been done a tiny, tiny bit of research. My audio's fucked up. It sounds like when I talk loud, I can't tell if it's these headphones, but like my shit's breaking up. I don't like it. What should I do? Lower my mic? Is it too loud? Mary, aliens were a possibility until the government confirmed them. Oh, yeah. Wow, that's a great line. Yeah. So, I don't know. Dick Butter, no aliens. How do you explain the really heavy rocks stacked the way they are? I don't. But I'm just not going to go to aliens. I don't know what rocks you're talking about, but yeah. There's a similar vein in those that believe so hard in conspiracy and those that believe so hard in the narrative. Yeah, totally. Well said, Logan. It feels like a lack of nuance and curiosity. I went deep into the moon landing. Yeah, 100%. Hey, dude, it's the transgender thing is it's on both sides. You have the fake tits, the fake ass, the fake eyelashes, the fake nose. You're on just whatever, all the shit. You're going down. That's no different. And let's say you're a woman who's doing that, just pursuing beauty with all outside resources, right? Doing all sorts of crazy surgeries, tattoos, just all that shit. That is the exact same thing as men turning themselves into women. What do they call that? Transhumanism. All that shit's the same. This one probably pisses a lot of you off too, but the God and the gender thing, those live in the exact same place in the brain. A spot of like where you're confused about what's real and what's not real. It's just, oh, thank you. My wife just said you're having a great hair day. You know what it is? I saw, I see that in my own head, by the way. When I sit, I see that. I'm not like making that up like I read that out of some sort of fucking book. I see the relationship between those thoughts. A huge part of me wants to believe in God. But in that same logic in my brain, I don't know, I say it's the same compartment. It's like clearly not a compartment. I don't know how to describe it, but those believing, I can see where all beliefs sit. And they want to get out of that belief and become like a no, they do. I'm not immune to that. And at some point, you have to be completely honest with yourself. If you want to be free, and you have to recognize that there is nothing true that you can know for sure. And the way you kind of start to wrap your head around that is you start to that line that Greg Glassman says about it's just you have to realize that you're just doing things that offer the greatest predictive value. You take one step in front of the next because you believe the concrete is going to be there. But you don't know for sure. And you take your things that offer your greatest predictive value and you start putting them on autopilot on programs around you so that you can do other things. You trust that you're going to speak. You trust that with each step you take, your legs are going to hold you up, that you're going to walk forward, but you can't know shit. You can't know. You have to also have a distinction between know and believe. And for people, that's fucking scary shit. For some people, that's just, I mean, Ray Candy on Facebook. Good morning, Sevi. Loving the midnight starts way better than the old 1 a.m. starts. Oh, what country are you in? Chris Crash asking the hard questions, but does Vivek's wife and lover have a 8 sleep? 8 sleep? 8 sleep. I think it's called 8 sleep. You guys liked Alex Best yesterday. That was cool. I liked her too. I thought this show was squirrely. I really liked her. But I was concerned about the show afterwards. I was like, wow, was that just a mess? Like, were we just throwing tomatoes at a wall? But I guess it worked. I got so much great feedback on it. Mad Marv, Vivek is at least enough to confront the falsehood of global warming. That was a good moment in the debate. I hope you're right, dude. I'm so impressed by him. Oh, turntable. I meant to have a talk with you. I need to have a talk with you, buddy. Bruce Wayne, I'll take fake tits over fake ass anyway. Yep, me too. I totally agree. I totally agree. I don't know why, and there's no logic in that, but I totally agree. I saw the craziest fake tits yesterday. The craziest. This lady was sitting at one of these $1 million mansions on the beach. She was on her patio that sits right on the beach, and she was with 2 other ladies, and all 3 of them clearly have drinking problem. You know what I mean? Just their skin's fucked up, and they're all like 50 or 60, and 2 of them are overweight, and one of them's so fucking skinny, and she's in a bathing suit, and she's old, like my age or older, but looks like she's been through the ringer, like a former meth addict. She got the skinniest fucking nose, like you know what I'm talking about? It's just, oh my god. And her tits were so big and taut. They were so big and taut, and I just stared. Everyone who walked by must have stared. I swear to God, I wish I could. I wonder if I could find a picture, but you guys know what I'm talking about, right? They weren't even boobs. It was nuts. It was nuts. And I walked by one way, and then I walked by the other way, and I looked both times. And Bruce, as much as I found them utterly disgusting, I also found them just absolutely wanted to go over and ask her if I could touch them or put my face in them at the same time. It was, I don't get it. Turntable. Why can't I'm not saying that people should be bullied, but why can't the audience here hold people accountable for saying dumb shit? Like, there's people who listen to this show every single fucking morning. We hang out here. We talk about a ton of different shit. And so if you're over there saying that so let's say there's someone out there who's saying that I'm racist or fat phobic or transphobic or I don't know, hating on fake tits, or says that I believe 9/11 was inside job. And you hang out here every day, and you know that's not true, and someone's talking shit about the place that you hang out. I totally understand why someone would be defensive. I don't for the longest time, I didn't want anyone to know I voted for Trump. I was like scared. Oh no, what if they find out? What if they find out? But so I don't know if you're making the connection there, but if you're gonna say, if let's say I started talking about your hometown and everyone who lives there is racist and your mayor's racist, and it's just the furthest thing from the truth. You would want to speak up and defend your hometown. Be like, dude, I live here. There's no, what are you talking about? There's no racism here. Our mayor's black. Our chief of police is a Jew. The guy who owns the local laundromat is white. No, sorry, Asian. Almost fucked that up. The guy who owns the liquor store that sells the best liquor is how are you doing, my friend? Very good, thank you very much. Do not touch the elephant god, please. Is a Hindu, and we got a white crack seller. Guy who sells crack is white. I think it's listen. If you're gonna throw rocks at the podcast, I'm not suggesting that people go over and bully them. I'm not like inciting violence, but dude, like, I think it's perfectly okay. This is like people's home. This is like fun for people. It's just like I talk shit about Disneyland. I say it's a place where fat people just go and eat sugar. And like, if you love Disneyland, then I'm all for you being like, dude, that's fucked up. That's not true. What's patently false? Tell me. I'm open. Do I have a relaxer in it? You shut your face. Relaxer. Relaxer. I hardly know her. Oh shit. Houston. Hey, what's up, dude?
Good morning. How you doing today?
I'm fine. I didn't think I had a show today. I was like, oh, my note. I was looking at my notes and they were boring me, and now I'm on a fucking roll.
Nice. You're doing well.
What about this guy, Dick Nasty, asking if I have relaxer in my hair? No, I don't do anything to my hair. It's water.
I think you just half a cup of Vaseline every morning, isn't it?
Half a cup of what?
Vaseline.
Vaseline. What's the other word for it? Petroleum jelly? Petroleum jelly.
Hey, I had a crazy conversation with a friend of mine. He does not believe that Helen Keller existed.
I've heard that too. I heard that she's not really blind. I mean, you can find it all, right?
And then after talking to him for a while, it's almost as simple as if someone doesn't understand anything outside of sight and audio, then if they can't imagine it, it never happened. And most of these people, it's funny. It's like everything, their personality almost hinges on a TikTok.
The transformation. If you couldn't see, do you know anyone who's lost their hearing? Like any old people who've lost their hearing?
Yeah.
It's crazy what it does to them, right? Like if
the other senses.
Well, also like the people I know, the ones that don't address it, it's like completely ruined them. They go in that direction of what I describe as woke so hard. They start making up everything. Their brain starts filling in all the gaps instead of being like, oh shit, I can't hear. Like they'll do this. When they start losing their hearing, they'll be like, why are you mumbling? And maybe for a couple of years, they'll claim that everyone mumbles around them.
It's like the aged woman with the 44E breasts that you're talking about.
I don't know how you made that leap, but I like it. I would love to talk about her.
Well, they don't accept their beauty is fading, and so they hold on to it through the lens of the size of the bra, and the size of the
and firmness and CCs and firmness. Yeah, being blind and deaf would be crazy. It's a completely different reality for you at that point that none of us can understand.
Is it the same conversation, how to have a conversation with someone who doesn't believe in anything and someone that only believes in the narrative and doesn't believe in anything? I should say isn't true because they just have like the complete opposite narrative. But like some of these get out of whether it's woke or super conspiracy. Like I don't know how you can convince someone who doesn't believe in any authority or anything. I don't even know how to contextualize. The woke thing is like, I feel like it's been through the ringer. We can understand it. And this almost just feels like a crazy echo. The people that don't believe in the lizards and the whole earth. And I'm really not trying to disparage these people because it's crazy. I don't want to alienate anybody, even just talking about it, but it's just, I don't know how you.
Let me ask you this real quick. Did you see the show with the flat earther guy on it?
No, I can't. I should. Just
okay. So when you listen to that show, the whole time, the way I listen to it is what could he say that I could test myself? Right? How could I validate him? How can I validate him? How can I see? I want to see the world the way he sees it. How can I see it that way? And so at the end of the day, the only one that really stuck to me is, I can't remember if it's the North or the South Pole, but one of those poles on the other side, like if you go there, supposedly it's like Game of Thrones, the way I understood what he's saying, on the other side are the other continents, right? And so they've made it so you can't cross over, right? Okay. So I'm thinking to myself, well, shit, I guess I got to go over there and like rent a plane and fly over there and see what's going on. If I like to prove or disprove them. Right. Whereas other people, they don't even get they just want to fucking be right. It's like the vaccine thing. I'm telling you, you can go to Google and look up when the vaccine came out and when the fucking sicknesses declined and start comparing them. Pick the two big ones, measles and polio. And right then and there, if you have any fucking ability to do math, you'll be like, uh-oh, something's not right. And then all you have to do is be like, wait a second, they pulled the polio vaccine in the first year and didn't release a new one for several years. Why did they pull the first polio vaccine? Oh, because it was giving more people polio than it was curing. And the whole thing can unravel for you in 7 minutes. But no, but the flat earth thing, you got to do a little more work. You need need an airplane and a pilot, and like you got to go over and like, you know what I mean? But there's some people who don't even want to, like, they can't even think about this stuff. The 9/11 thing's the same way. Like, I still don't believe it's a conspiracy, but I watched on TV a building that was nowhere near the fucking fallen buildings just fall down. We all saw that, like Building 7 or something.
Right. I'm not even familiar with that one. But have you heard some of these people that when you talk to them about the space program, they say, well, they have people that are Photoshop experts that work at NASA, for instance, right? Have you heard of that?
No, but I completely believe that it's one, to believe it or not, it's one of the biggest problems in science today is Photoshop. Basically, like so much shit in journals is photoshopped. It's fucking unbelievable. You can see that that no one's denying that either. That's not conspiracy. It's part of the replication crisis. Well,
but like, so with underwater photography, for example, underwater photography, if you take a photo underwater, there's an incredibly blue haze. In like clear ocean, there's a crazy blue haze on most of these photos, right?
Yeah.
So for clarity, I'm not making an excuse. I don't know exactly what goes on everywhere, but I can extrapolate that's probably similar. They change things for clarity purposes. They make things hyper real. They make like a replication of like a supernova, and they make it look cooler than it does on the telescope, right? I don't know if they can say to get people interested in science or whatever, but is it? I don't even. Yeah.
Hey, I just thought of something. Do you mind if I change the subject real quick?
Go for it.
Hey, so like I don't know what's real and what's not real, but I pick things that make it so my life it will be easy, right? So like I believe with each step I take forward, the concrete in front of me is going to be there. I accept that. I throw that on autopilot, right?
Yeah.
And the God thing is exactly the same way. I want to read to you these. So like I don't agree with Vivek Ramaswamy on these things, but I want to live in this reality and see if this makes sense to you. So these are 10 things that listen to these are 10 things that he calls truth, right? God is real. There are two genders. He fucked that up. There's two sexes. He needs to learn the English language. Human flourishing requires fossil fuels. Reverse racism is racism. An open border is no border. Parents determine the education of their children. Nuclear family is the greatest form of governance known to mankind. Capitalism lifts people up from poverty. There are 3 branches of the U.S. government, not 4. The U.S. Constitution is the strongest guarantor of freedoms in history. I don't care whether that's fucking true or not at this point, but I want to be led by someone who does believe those things. Do you know what I'm saying? The distinction I'm making there? Like, the Constitution's just fucking made up. Great. I don't give a fuck. I don't believe in God. Cool. Doesn't matter to me either. I want a leader who does believe in God, and I want a leader who does believe in this made up document called the U.S. Constitution.
Well, and it's just with the Constitution, you know, you can. It's sort of it's our national Bible. It's our national North Star. You know, and you can all these people that disparage the Bible, for this reason or that reason, like, okay, well, they say the flood never happened, 2 animals, 2 by 2 didn't go on the ark or whatever. It's regardless. You can say it's done a lot of wrong, but it's been a crazy North Star for so many people. And then, like, the fact that its popularity has fallen and people have seemingly no star, and then they didn't even pivot to the Constitution, for example. There's no North Star. It's pretty much whatever's on TV is the North Star. It's just literally need something to point to that you can follow. That's not just whatever the freaking scrolling text at the bottom of the TV is today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna have people who are asleep at the wheel, who want to turn over their superpowers, I would prefer that they believe in God than the fucking chaos that's being presented to them on CNN.
Chaos is just reactionary.
Yeah.
You just want something tangible. You want something that you can predict. There's no predictability in the chaos. And if there's no, I'm going to let you go, but I got a real quick question.
Straight. In this lifetime, I'm straight. In this lifetime, I'm straight.
Is the no?
But I could come back as gay.
That's for a private call.
Oh,
is the audio? Do you hear a lot of like crazy stuff in the background or not?
I hear it. It sounds like cows are being tortured. Low level.
Oh, okay. That's too bad.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. Love you too. Bye. Mad Marv, one of my favorites. Great profile pic that I've become addicted to. God is not in the same place as gender. I understand where you're coming from, but you are wrong. YouTube user wearing the wife beater. UK Parliament 49ers hearing Dr. David Martin explains everything you need to know about the vaccines. Video is available on YouTube. Someone also agreed with Bruce Wayne on here about the boobs versus the fake butt. Man, can you imagine sitting on a prosthetic like that? I would always think I'm going to burst it open or damage it And does that fuck your back up? Like, what if you have to drive for like 8 hours and now you got like some prosthetic that you're sitting on? Does that fuck your back up? Should I DM you? About what? Always DM me. I like you, dude. I just think that people should be allowed to defend their homeland. Like, you don't want people to think that this is not a place of misogyny or any of that shit. Although when I told my wife, I'm like, I don't even know what fat phobic is. She's like, she said, well, if it's that you're afraid of being fat, then you're definitely fat phobic. And she's right. I don't want to be fat, me personally. But I have an abnormal attraction towards fat people, and I don't dislike anyone because they're fat. But I do have beliefs that if you are fat, it's because you're addicted to refined carbohydrates. And I think that that's a fair belief. Turntable. It just gets ugly, in my opinion, when your listeners go after people you're having issues with, like they say stuff I know you would never say. Oh, that's fair. Okay. I get it. I was not making fun of you, Devesh. I was, in all fairness, I was showing off because it's one of the only impersonations I can do. The Indian guy from The Simpsons. Sevi fucking up. Where's all the sponsor images? Sousa, throw the banners and codes up. Oh, shit. I don't know how to do that. Is there a Swolverine code? I don't even know. Try Sevan. Hey, there was a crazy one for a while. It was like Games 23 or something. Maybe for someone from Swolverine's watching and they'll put it up. Dick Nasty, vegetable oil, yeah, canola. I put canola in my hair. Sean Lenderman, I have lost my hearing, but I'm not old. It makes me seem like a dumbass sometimes, but I just can't hear you well. The thing is you just have to lean into it. The thing, the people I know who've lost their hearing, they do two things. They blame other people, but then they also just start making shit up. Or every time you say something, literally every time, they'll say it back to you like they thought of it. It is the most bizarre phenomenon. Are you hungry? Then they wait a couple seconds, like, you think want to go get something to eat? And it's just a whole day of that. It's so bizarre. I was thinking about Sean the other day. I was thinking about how they tried to make it so I couldn't go to the games because I say the R word, retard. And someone else was saying on that podcast that Garrett Glinton did, they were saying that the word tranny was offensive, which is just crazy to me. That's not even remotely offensive word. That's actually a fun word to say. But I was also thinking, I don't know if this is true, but I heard, I was told to stop saying it on my show, Shawnee, when I would call Shawnee and Tommy. And I was heard that upset Sean. Can you imagine if someone, like, if that's true, getting upset that someone called you Shawnee? I'd be like the Shawnee and Tommy show. Like, dude, it's so obvious that I'm doing that because it flows easily because Tommy has a Y, Shawnee and Tommy. But I don't know if he really got upset, but I heard that. And I was told by people, hey, you need to stop saying that. There's not too many, like, I don't know if I should say this. On one hand, you would be surprised at some of the shit that the people in my sphere say to me, like the rules they try to put on me, like knowing that the scope of this show, the freedom that exists here. But it would surprise you some of the things that people say. Oh, you can't say Shawnee. That's really pissing him off. I'm like, what? The fuck is that pissing him off? Those other shows don't even say my name. Oh, what did Wooly post the other day? He said, remember, he has 500,000 followers or 300,000 followers. I get my 3s and 5s mixed up. But on his account, and there were 2 posts, and they were both from bots. And so I said on this show, hey, I wonder if he bought his followers. And the reason why I said that is, well, because it's weird that you'd have so many followers and only 2 comments. Because my shit's shadow banned to all fucking get out, and even I get comments. And so that's the only thing I look at. I just look at comments. I'm guilty of that. That's my, like, go-to. And he called me a douchebag for that, but wouldn't say my name. He said some D-bag. What did he say? He said some D-bag on the internet needs a lesson in social media. I'm paraphrasing. Because I questioned if you had bought your followers. And then Hiller goes on and buys John Young 2,500 followers. That was crazy. I thought John's so cool. I thought maybe we were going to get in trouble for that. Like, but he was cool. He didn't even flinch. He'll be late to Friday's show, by the way. Friday's CrossFit Games update show. It looks like we've secured Pedro from the island, Ireland. Looks like we're gonna have Jessica Griffith on. She'll be talking about Ty Jenkins. I got tons of questions about that. Sevi, who's Ty Jenkins? He's one of the teen athletes. And we will have Chase Ingram, and of course I've been bugging Brian Spinn, but I haven't heard back from him. Turntable, it was about a comment I made on Sporty Beth's video. Someone said she's playing the victim and it's all in her head. I'm saying there's a legit people saying foul stuff to her. Yeah, and I hear you on that. Well, then Turntable, you and I are on the same page, because basically what you're saying is you don't want to watch a show. You don't want people on this show going over and being assholes to other people either, because this is also your home. Like, you don't want people over there going over there and being like, you dumb bitch, blah, 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 blah. It's like, dude, that's not how we roll. And I agree. So you're not saying that people shouldn't defend the show. You're just saying, hey, do it in a way that doesn't make us look bad. And so me and you are on the same page. I get it. Thank you for explaining it to me, by the way, or allowing me to explain it to myself. I get it. CK Kevin, I find flat earth people fascinating. I love asking them questions and hearing their answers. I'm like, unfuck me. Maybe I'm wrong, but don't think so, but give it a shot. Hey, it's the same thing with, like, you ever hear like people shoot guns up in the air and the bullets come down and kill people? Like, I don't believe that either, but fuck, I guess it's true. But I just don't believe it. Or like you throw a penny off the Empire State Building and it would go into the concrete. I don't think so. Sevan, are you saying you don't believe there's an ocean above us? That one I'm not ruling it out, but no, I don't believe it. That's correct. I'm okay, Clive. I hate it when people go and say hateful stuff rather than simple arguing logic. I don't mind some joking, some mom jokes. Call someone a dildo. That's why I thought it was funny when Sporty Beth called me a wanker. I kind of like, I mean, not kind of, I do like that. I thought it was fun. I guess I don't really know what that word means over there, how harsh it is, because I thought it's like calling someone a ding dong. I thought she was being playful. All right. I have some videos and stuff to show you guys. Let me see. I'm way behind in the comments. Oh, yeah. I don't, Athena writes, nope, that was never my approach. I don't know what she's referencing, but she is so nice. Like, someone says something fucked up to her, she's like, I hear you. I do like that approach. I hear you. I use that one sometimes. I hear you. Like, I hear you. I get it. Okay, I get it. Nervous. Caller, hi.
Hey.
Hey,
good morning, Sevan.
Hey.
Hey, so I got a question for you. Well, one.
Can I guess what you're going to say? Can I guess what you're going to say?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're going to try to explain to me that God is real.
Well, yeah, of course. So it's not hard. It really isn't.
How did I know that? How did I know that? I don't know who you are. How did I know that? I don't recognize you.
You know exactly who I am.
I don't.
And I'm sure you do. No. And some of the super sleuths will know who I am. Okay. But it's fine. So
I don't know who you are, though. In all honesty, I swear to God, I don't know who you are. I don't recognize your number. I don't put numbers in the phone. But go on.
Oh, well, we'll figure it out together. Hey, quick question.
Yes. Earlier
in the podcast, you said there's no such thing as truth. I'm giving you the spirit of what you said. I don't remember your exact quote.
Fair.
Yeah. Was that statement true?
I don't know, but I can tell you that I don't necessarily believe it. It's more of a lens in which I try to look at to stay open-minded. Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know if that's true. Wow, what a fucking mess you've made of my thinking.
No, that's a perfect answer. Because I think the people.
Oh, someone wants to know if you're John Woolley. Is this John Woolley trying to say?
No, get out of here.
Okay,
John Woolley's a good dude, but no.
Okay, good dude.
So the people that have been paying attention to your show, I think, have understood your verbal processing. Like I'm like you. I begin at one point. I don't know where I'm going necessarily. I think I know where I'm going. And then when I get there, we kind of have a moment of discovery together. So it's a lot of fun. That's why we enjoy your show, because you're just kind of given a soliloquy. You're processing things in your own thought patterns, and then they come out into the world, and we get to see it. It's like a play, but it's not. It's us learning from each other. So really appreciate that. So with that said, who created that microphone in front of you? Where'd that come from?
The company?
Sure. Why is there a microphone in front of you at all?
I suspect it's because dudes want pussy and they want to procreate so bad, and in the meantime, when they're not procreating, the smart ones are doing things to try to impress. It's all courtship process for women. That's a pretty shallow answer, but okay. I think that there's some serious validity to it.
Well, let me summarize that for you.
Okay.
People with intelligence had a desire, therefore they made it.
Oh, fair.
Right? Okay.
Well, they have they have a desire, and when that desire can't be fulfilled, it's a means to it's a means to that desire. I don't think the desire. Yeah, I think so. You're right. You're right. I agree with you. Yes.
Okay.
With some nuances, but I agree with you.
Okay. And so you look at the building you're in. How do you know that somebody made that building, or some group of people, whatever? How do you know that building was created by someone?
Just based on my understanding of how these things work and some life experiences I've had on watching buildings go up.
Yeah. Okay. So we're tracking. So Sevan, your eyeball, your brain, your cardiovascular system, your digestive system, the complexities of the human body are the ability to procreate, reproduce our own kind, all of that. You're telling me, how did that get here?
Great question. I have no idea.
Okay. So let me give you a summation of how you can actually express yourself with some truth in this arena.
Okay.
You cannot definitively say there is no God. You can only definitively say, there might be a God. If there is, I haven't met him yet.
But there can be a God and you not believe. Right. I'm wholeheartedly with you on that. I do not believe in God.
Okay. Can you define belief for me real quick? Because I think we're stumbling over.
Just belief is just like a place, something that you don't really know, but you.
It's like a hope or wishful thinking.
Yeah, exactly. It's a kind of a safe delusion, right? Like, I don't know that I was born on March 16th, 1972, but I believe it.
Yeah.
Well, but I don't know it, and I don't think that there's a way I can know it.
Well, belief doesn't determine truth. Truth should determine belief, right? So you can believe any day of the week, any year on the calendar.
That's a great line, by the way. You just said.
It does not make it true.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So we got to go where the evidence leads us. We have logic, we have reason. If we couldn't define words, if we couldn't speak logically to one another, we couldn't have this conversation. We couldn't go back and forth and agree, disagree.
I believe in here's something I believe in. I believe in the unknown. As a matter of fact, I would go as far as to say that's the one thing that I do know, is that there's the unknown.
Okay. So you know that there are things that you don't know.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's great. Doesn't really help us here.
Well, I think it does, because I think that's what a lot of people, I think a lot of people sense that, and that there's something that they don't know, and it scares them. And so they plug that hole, that portal, with something that they call God, with a belief in God.
Okay. So so we know
a giant narrative to plug the hole. You feel me on that? Can you picture that?
I understand where you're going with this.
Okay.
I want to pull you out just a little bit for some clarification.
Okay.
Because there might be some presuppositions in your mind of where I'm tracking.
Okay.
And I don't want to track down that line just yet. So I want to pull you back just a little bit.
Fair.
Crap, man, I lost my train of thought.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. That's all right. That's why we talk.
Are you a preacher?
No.
Oh, you work in a church?
From time to time, yes. Yeah. See, that's where your brain was going. Right. But I'm not even talking about the Christian God.
Okay.
I'm just talking about a creator.
Right.
So we can definitively say, based on how the world operates, that because there is substance and order in this world and intelligence in this world, the fact that we can have this dialogue across the airwaves, that there is an intelligent designer. Now, the difference is, who is that? Right? Like that's where I'm trying to pull you away from right now. Not necessarily at this moment in our conversation trying to convince you of one God versus another, but the fact that there is an intelligent designer that has created us, that has given us all of these abilities.
You want me to have that? You want me to have that presupposition that exists? Is that what you're saying?
No, I want to make sure that we're operating in the same arena and that you don't go down the line yet.
Okay.
That I'm trying to convince you of a certain God of a certain religion.
Okay, fair.
Right. So, I mean, would that be fair for us to acknowledge?
No,
that
I can't.
Whether or not I believe it,
I can't do that.
Okay, help me out there. Why not?
Because
you can believe that there's a microphone in front of you that was created by a man that you've never met before.
Right.
You don't know the process of its creation.
Right.
You don't know any of the details. Of how the parts were curated. You're right. But it's there in front of you.
Yep. Okay. I accept that. But I don't. I can accept that. I can accept that. I can like what you're saying logically makes complete sense to me.
Okay.
Like if there's levels, if my mom made me, then I made this microphone, then who made my mom? Like there's just levels. I forget the rapper's name. There's levels to this shit. Right. Okay. Yeah. And I do think that the world works like that. So it's a very potent example you're giving me. I think everything here is just Legos and it's scaled. I went to go see, just really quick here, I went to go see that thing. This is blasphemous, but I went to go see that thing that they do in China where they take the bodies and they, I forget what it's called, but they can peel all the skin off a human being and have them frozen perfectly. And I saw that exhibit in London. And one of the things they had there was that they had a pregnant woman cut open at every stage, 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 4 month, 5 month, all the way up, or maybe it was weeks. And when you looked at the human being from all the different, ages it was as an embryo to being born, it went through all the animals, dude. Like at one point we looked like a pollywog and then like a lizard. And then it was crazy to see and they're real babies, you know what I mean? At all the different phases. So I'm with you. You're right. I see it as like, I see it as like a kaleidoscope too. Okay. I'm with you. Okay. So what you're saying is everything points to that. Something made us. Yeah.
Everything in this world points to a designer.
Right. Okay.
Right. And then we have to figure out, well, who or what is that designer?
Okay.
And does this designer require anything?
You think my show would be ruined if you convinced me that there was really a God? What if you, aren't you afraid? What if you I flip out and I turn into a Christian and this whole show I become just like, what's the term? Evangelic.
Devon, I'm not afraid of that.
Oh,
perhaps you are.
Oh, okay. Perhaps I think I am.
You've built something.
Jesus Christ.
Well, and that's
fuck my shit.
Here, let me reassure you with something.
Okay.
What the talents that you have, you've curated over time.
Right.
The love and time that people have poured into you to assist you in this life to get you where you are.
Mm-hmm. Don't make me cry. Be cool. Be chill.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Be cool. Be cool.
Those things are neither, in a sense, good nor bad.
Mm-hmm.
What you choose to do with them, how you display them to the world, they're gifts to you.
Mm-hmm.
Every moment spent with another person learning is a gift to you. No matter what their intention was for it. I mean, you kind of say these things all the time. Things are neither good or bad. It's just my response to it. So what you're doing with the show doesn't have to stop. It doesn't have to, it can take a little bit of a shift in some of its verbiage, so to speak. But hey, I'm a Christian. We got a ton of Christians in this audience that love the information that you bring to us each and every day. So there should be no fear necessarily in losing your platform, because we appreciate your platform and we appreciate just what you bring us on a daily basis. I mean, I try to catch almost every single show you put up. So I'm having a good time here. I don't want to see you go away. With that being said,
God calls me like out to Africa, take my boys to Africa and like get off the internet.
Yeah, and take a camera and tell us all about it when you get back. Hey, you have skills and we love you for it.
I so appreciate the journey you took me on. Don't ever do that again.
Okay. All right.
I love you, brother. Hey, you have a beautiful voice.
Let's do it.
You're a very generous human being with your time and your thought, and I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, let's do it another time. I appreciate you, and I'll hit you up in the DMs.
Yeah.
So you know who this is.
Okay, cool. And call in anytime.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
God, you guys are douchebags. This was the only nice comment. Someone please call in. Why? That guy, that was great. I enjoyed that. He almost made me cry, though. For a second. What did he say? So many people have poured love into you. It's crazy how many people are nice to me. There's this dude here. You can't really thank people enough for what they've done for you. And people don't even know what they're doing for you, but I'll give you just this crazy example. The lady who owns CA Peptides. So she came onto a show a year and a half ago during the CrossFit Games, or 2 years ago. I don't know if you guys remember that. And every 10 minutes, she donated $50 to the chat until she donated $800. And so then I found her in the DMs or something, and I gave her my phone number, and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, I just wanted to get your attention. I like your show, and I wanted to be a part of it. So I've built this friendship with her, and it's really, it's really just like, if I can't tell you how much this lady has done for my kids. And so that's like my whole life is my kids. And I can't even express to her, I better stop, but I can't even express to her the things that she's done for me. But even on this most recent trip, her bodyguard has brought my 3 boys to the premier jiu-jitsu academy in the world, where I've spent 2 hours 2 days ago and 2 hours yesterday. I'm going to spend 2 hours today watching my kids train. And it's like, that's just a drop in the bucket of what she's done. And it's just nuts. It's nuts. I can't stop thinking about how it's so exciting. It's not even that I think about it. I just bathe in just their growth. Sevan can be bought. Yeah, fuck. She stuck me in a little condo on the beach. I can be totally bought. I'll do anything for my kids. Yeah. AOJ, Art of Jiu-Jitsu School. Yeah. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. If I could take video, they have a no video rule there. If I could take video, it's nuts. It is nuts. And my kids' jiu-jitsu teachers should be so proud. Back home, Nico and McKenna, they should be so proud. The boys just showed up. My son Ari, who is just, I mean, they're all flourishing there, all flourishing. But my youngest son Ari is just like, he did shit yesterday. He just imagine this. he sparred basically for 2 classes with the best kids. They got to be some of the best kids in the world at jiu-jitsu. And after 2 hours of sparring, then they get all the classes together and they sit in a big circle. And there's, I see more black belts in 1 hour at this academy than I've seen in my whole life. And then so there's all these black belts sitting around, and then all these kids, and Ari's one of the youngest kids, and the instructor goes, who wants to spar? And now you're going to, after 2 hours of sparring, now you're going to spar in front of all the classes. All the classes have come together. And maybe only 6 kids raise their hand. And so the first boy and girl he picks go out there and they beat the shit out of each other. It's basically that you fight. It's basically a fight, except you don't punch and kick and bite. There's rules to the fighting. It's gnarly. It is so gnarly. It makes every parent there, I'm sure, uncomfortable. And then the net, he goes, who wants to, and then after that first fight, who wants to fight? And Ari raises his hand. And he goes out there and fights this kid, and it was crazy. And it was Rafael Mendez's son, the world champion's son. It was nuts. Ari fought him 3 times yesterday. It was fucking crazy. Crazy. Came off the one time, lost to him, came off and was crying. He's like, I'm done. I'm like, dude. He's like, what? I'm like, if you don't go back out there, you're going to be so bummed because you're going to want to know what happens if you give it another shot. He's like, you're right. He's only 6, and he went back out there. Great day, though. Ari went, I think he probably sparred 11 times. I want to say he only lost. He sparred against the champ son 3 times. I think he won 1 and lost 2. Granted, it's just sparring, but he beat all the other kids in the class. It was crazy, and he's little. He's the second littlest dude in the class. Big kids. Yeah, it was nuts. It's absolutely nuts. The champ's kid is gnarly. I saw Ari go to this place that I'd never seen him go before. I mean, they are straight fighting. I haven't gone to Sheckler's yet. We'll go to They want to go back to I'll call Sheckler today or tomorrow. Anyway, so going back to what that guy was saying, dude, the stuff people do for me in my life is crazy. Crazy. And all this shit that I'm using for the podcast, this is all shit Greg Glassman bought me. The phone, the computer, the extra screen, the Rodecaster, this mic. Can't thank that dude fucking enough. My wife. Yeah, could be a whole show on thanking people. And I will tell you this, for those who I am surrounded by people who give like crazy. And I know why I'm surrounded by people who give like crazy, because I give like crazy. So, and occasionally I'll come across someone who doesn't give like crazy, and giving like crazy is kind of weird. Because when you see people who don't give like crazy, you understand the predicament they're in. It makes sense to you why their life's not fun, why they're not getting what they want, why they're just reaping what they sow. You guys all know that person. Everywhere they go, they're trying to negotiate a deal, right? They're selling their house. They're trying to talk down their real estate agent to take a smaller percentage. They go into a carpet shop. They're like asking for a deal on the carpet. Like they're just always asking for it. Like they don't value other people, so they don't get high value people around them. Their life is just. I've had friends who are like, "Hey, so and so is taking advantage of you." Like, it's totally misunderstood. No one's taking advantage of me ever. It doesn't work like that. It's not that mindset is just weak. So I am around people who give more than me, but but it's a competition. I'm trying to give more than them too. So you get around those people. You just I try to explain that to people who come on the show. Like, it makes me so happy that like Taylor and Will and the best example, well, John Young, there's these people. I'll tell you this whole crew. Taylor, the thumb from SMTP programming, J.R. Howell from CrossFit Crash, John Young from JY Barbell, Will Brandstetter. There's these people. Caleb, fuck, dude. Can you imagine how much Caleb gives me? Matt Souza. Like, these people are just pouring into me. But they also realize, like, I have this podcast station and I just wholeheartedly trust JR and Taylor and Will. I hardly ever even talk to them. And they just do their show on here, and I get all the benefit from it. They're just giving to me. Yeah, Caleb is insane. I never even talked to Caleb about coming on the show. I just know he can't come on in the morning, then he just shows up at night. I mean, I keep Caleb included on all the threads. So if I have any show threads, I just put Caleb on them. So he has purview of it. But like Souza, I call Souza 5 times a day. Caleb, I never even talked to, ever. I don't think I've ever called Caleb on the phone. I can't ever remember calling him on the phone. And just here, doing his shit, like on top of his shit. Yeah, it's cool. And then all you guys. Someone sent me a really cool picture. Oh, Heidi. I don't know if Heidi's here this morning, but someone sent me a picture yesterday from the games, and I was like, oh, and it was with me with 3 girls. God, I looked like shit. I really did look like a dwarf in the picture. My face looks good, but my body's all fucked up. I look like a dwarf, but it was the shorts and the fanny pack. Oh, it was you, Audrey? That was cool. Yeah. I don't remember. What's crazy is I was like, man, these are 3 really pretty girls. But when I saw you guys, I don't even remember any of that. In the picture, I'm like, oh, these chicks are hot. And I was like, who are these chicks? It took me a second to figure it out. I didn't even know it. Isn't that funny? I didn't even know it was you. Sent it to me. That's how fast I'm just like trying to get through shit. But when I was there, I didn't even have time to appreciate your guys' beauty. Yeah, get with the programming. I ran into all 3 of them. It was awesome. I did feel special. It was Seema and Heidi came when I was in the media pit one time, came over to say hi to me. And that made me feel really good. All right. Have I played any videos? Did we talk about Vivek yet? Oh, what is this? Number 32, British people are weird. Oh, this is kind of nice. I like this concept. I don't think this is executed well. I do not think this is executed well. No one judge me on the execution, but I love this concept. I love the idea of this. Okay? So it's a guy riding a motorcycle. But you have to take it with a grain of salt because it's a British dude. So like maybe we just don't understand the nuances of their humor and stuff. But here we go.
Pardon? You were right on my.
Okay, so it's a motorcycle cut this car off, and the driver's talking some shit, and the motorcycle guy's like, "Hey, but you were right on my ass."
You're not coming to my birthday party. You're a big smelly meanie. You smiled. I got you smiled. You smiled. It's over. You smiled. Let's be friends, man. Let's be friends. Bye. Love you. Hey, man. Come on, man. Let's be friends. Let's be friends. Love you, man. Love you. Love you. Come on, love you. Have a good day, yeah? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you ever get into a road rage thing, just what you do is just, one, pepper them with compliments and then just be really silly. Say stuff like, you're not coming to my birthday party. You're a big smelly meanie.
I don't know. Call 911. Right. Great. I just did you're not coming to my birthday party. I don't know. At some point, you're being like, the point is just to diffuse it, but not just be. You want it to be diffused because you're nice, not because you're a weirdo. You know what I mean? Oh, here we go. Robbie Myers. This happened to me this morning, dropping my daughter off at school, and a guy was in a rush, nearly cut me off, so I let him go. Yeah, that's always good. That's why it's good to go everywhere early, so you can be that guy. To be the cool dude. At least that's what I like. CK Kevin, pull that on the wrong guy and you're fucked. Like, you mean like walking up to the car window? Yeah, walking up to the car window is kind of crazy. Robbie, after I smiled at him and told him to chill, he proceeded to say, I'm sorry, and let me go in front of him. I mean, we all understand that automatic response, right? Someone cuts you off and you're like, what the fuck? But then it's like, hey, it could be any of us. You don't know. Guy's in a hurry. It's an Asian driver, just whatever. It could be, there's any number of things. Old person driving. Yeah. I feel horrible for that, especially now that my parents are older. I honk at someone and then I pull up next to them and it's like someone who's 80. I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't have done that. Definitely shouldn't have done that. How about this? This guy's coming on the show. You want to see this? This guy's coming on the show. This is kind of exciting. Look at this guy. Actually, to be completely fair, this is why I didn't put my hair up today, because I saw this guy's hair. Bear Handlin. Too many people in today's society are living with a victim mentality, and this is being reinforced by our media. I invited him on before I even knew he had this kind of stance. Our politicians and people who are unwilling to speak a hard truth to their peers. No more blaming others for your shortfalls. No more entitlements. You only get what you earn. The Born Primitive Podcast. I think this guy was a SEAL too. Here we go.
This is such a big part of Born Primitive, and something we preach to our employees is like that victim mentality, because it is freaking cancer, right? Yeah. And it can bring you down to your knees if you buy into it in your brain. And also, like, the media, your parents, maybe if you're in a bad friend group and they're reinstilling this conspiracy theory in your head that, I'm not supposed to be successful because those people are saying I shouldn't be. Mm-hmm. I don't have a fair shot in this and that. And it's all fucking bullshit.
What a different clothing brand than Noble. What a misnomer. Noble? No, you're all bull. How the fuck did they come up with that name? What an embarrassment. Look at the difference in just the owner. This dude right here.
This is such a big.
Look at this dude's hair and the way he said it. That dude spends, and then look at the owners of Noble. I bet you that the owners of those guys who you see who are always parading around as the owners of Noble spend 10 times as much getting ready in the morning when they go out than this guy. They waste 10 times as much time getting ready to engage the world. Now, what I'm about to say isn't true, but it could be true. Could at least be a correlate. The more time you spend getting ready to go out, the faker you are. Hey, how many times have you seen a CrossFit girl who you think is so fucking hot, and she always has her hair in a ponytail and sweaty, and she's just in her workout clothes, and then you see her out and she's all made up and you're like, what the fuck happened to you? You look like a monkey's ass. All red and shit and makeup-y and fucked up and wearing dumbass clothes. It fucking happens way too many times for me to count. The first time I really saw it was Christmas Abbott. She only looks good sweaty. Born Primitive, Will Brandstetter. Born Primitive's men clothing is hilarious. What do you mean? I got their joggers. They're dope. But if you have you can't wear those like. If you got a meat stick, you can't wear those like out in public unless you don't care that everyone's staring at your meat stick. I just wear mine around the house. I wore mine down this morning. I wore mine to walk to the coffee shop and get a cup of coffee. Now, granted, it's 300 yards from my front door, the coffee shop, and I saw no one because it was at 6 a.m. No one. Oh, I'm wearing gray BP joggers. Well, I can't wait to see your penis later on today. Dude, looks like he works hard on his perfect tan. What are you talking about? That's a roll out of bed fucking dude. The most he does is he's got an electric shaver that he trims his beard with. I want to buy Born Primitive stuff after seeing this. Are they in the UK? Those guys at Noble, no offense, do what you want to do. No judgment. Wax their eyebrows. They got the boy band shit going. They wear their pants so tight they need a wrench to pull up the zipper. Pool boy, I wish more people would stare at my meat stick. I had a girl in high school one time write me a note, told me she could see my penis through my pants. I had no idea how to take that. That guy doesn't even shave his pubes. He probably does what I'm going to say. I'll ask him when he's on. I'm going to guess he does what I do. I just take when it's just so bushy, I just take a big old handful, and then I have these scissors in the garage. They'll cut through anything. I got them at Home Depot. They look like scissors, but you can cut through steel and shit with them. I bring those into the house, hang over the toilet, just grab a huge handful of pubes, and I cut. There's something really unsettling about scissors being in the same shot as your cock and balls. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're viewing the world like this, right? Like a director. And then all of a sudden, like you're looking down at your penis, you're like, that's cool, everything's cool. And then scissors come in. Like imagine you're looking at my face, and that's my face is just a big old cock and balls. And then all of a sudden a pair of scissors come in. As a dude, you hate that. You're like, wait, what's going on here? Everything in your body's like, no. But you're like, hey, it's chill. Just cutting some pubes. No. I tried to shave that shit with a fucking electric shaver one time. Then it within like a half a second, it put 300 paper cuts on my ball sack. Never again. Sevan has the coarse Jew hair for pubes. First of all, I'm not Jewish. And I don't know if my pubes are coarse or not. But if they are, they're coarse Armenian pubes. Tank Reeves, I don't see your show pop up, and I see that it's unsubbed me. I've been told that unsubbing thing a lot, which is weird. Are you sure you don't have multiple YouTube accounts, maybe? Oh, Joe Westerlin. The scissor tactic is legit. It's the balance between metrosexuality and common decency for your lover. I don't know. I just think that your pubes can get just so long that like they're just holding too much stench. You know what I mean? Like if you smell your cock and balls, it's time to trim your pubes. I have a Manscaped. I use it on my face. I use it. It's actually the best. I've never used it on my balls, but I use it on my face, and it's awesome. I just take it to the closest setting on the side here, and then I'm letting my goatee grow in. And then I got this other like Norelco thing that I just shave my neck with really quick. I don't know if it's Norelco. It's like a $20 shaver. That's it. Vindicate, 2 electric shavers, one for the face and one for the. Hey, I don't even think I have you don't shave your balls? No. God, no. Well, I'm telling you, the one time I tried with that shaver I had, it put like fucking 300 fucking paper cuts on my scrotum, like in a half a second. I just touched it there and it just lit my sack up. It was crazy. It was a bloody mess. It was nuts, dude. It stung so bad for a whole day. Yeah. Anyway, this guy's coming on, and he knows the Born Primitive guy's coming on. He looks like a lion. So that's cool. I think he's coming on next week. I'm excited to meet him. What a difference, though, from Noble. Jesus criminy. We have a clothing line, and we embrace accountability, personal responsibility, taking care of yourself, being strong. We have a clothing line, and we support organizations that support genital mutilation for children. Noble. We're huge fans of Outwad. Outwad. Because CrossFit isn't accepting enough. What a fucking joke. What a scam Outwad is. What a scam. And so someone right there might be listening to the show and be like, oh my God, is it called Outwad? What did I call it? Inwad? What did I call it? Did I call it Outwad? What's it called? Hey, listen, if you're how about this? If you're a dude in a wheelchair and you want to go to a CrossFit gym and you feel uncomfortable and you want to go to a CrossFit gym where the owner is in a wheelchair, fully fucking get it. Fully fucking get it. You want to start an organization that helps people with missing an arm go to CrossFit? Totally. You want to start an organization that helps people who are like afraid of gyms and 100 pounds overweight go to CrossFit gyms? Fucking all those things are awesome. I am not against those. You're a gay dude and you are uncomfortable coming out and you feel this society, you live in fucking a place where you feel like people are judging you for being gay, your sexuality, and you have these insecurities about it, and you want to go to a gym where you feel like you're safe. All for it. Don't project that shit on the rest of the world like it's not your issue. Because it is at the end of the day, it's just your fucking issue. Don't try to change the rest of us. I like the most of us don't give a fuck if you show up to the gym in a fucking wheelchair or with your boyfriend or with the I Love Jesus shirt. Like, I don't give a fuck. No one does. Most people don't. Get over yourself. But I'm up for those organizations that want to help those people if that's your passion. But don't make those people weak or think that they're some sort of special. You're not special because you're in a wheelchair. You're not special because you're fucking gay. You're not special because you're a Filipino guy that's afraid to go to a gym where there's not Filipino. Like, you're not special. That's all on you. That's all I'm saying. And what that makes me is not someone who hates those people, but believes in those people, that they can be strong and just integrate into just the sea of humanity. And so when you call people who think like I think racist or whatever you want to call it, you're completely off your rocker. You're the one who wants to keep those people weak. You're talking about yourself. Yeah, old. Yeah. Old, being old's for real, man. People hate on old people. You want to know what the most discriminated against? And by the way, I'm not saying that you change it. Fuck old people. Young people are great. I love looking at the fucking young people at the fucking jiu-jitsu academy I take my kids to. But you want to, if there's ever a group that should feel sorry for themselves, it's fucking old people. No one wants to fuck with old people at all. Nobody. You can't play Frisbee. You got fucking stupid old ideas. You're weak. You can't defend me. If you're not rich and old, fuck you. Right? That's the and I'm not even upset about that. Finding your way on earth as an old person is a challenge. Would you rather be a black man or a white man? I'd rather be a young man. Would you rather be a woman or a man? I'd rather be a man. Well, that's sexist. No, actually, it's not. It's fine. It's not sexist at all. I don't want to do the monthly bleeding thing, and I don't want to give birth. Would you rather be a black man or an Asian man? I'm gonna rather be a black man. Would you rather be a black man or a white man? How tall is the black dude? Every time I see those videos when they ask those questions, I'm like, we could play that game all day long. That does not, like, they ask the room full of white people. They're like, who would trade who they are to be black? Shut the fuck up. Such loaded bullshit. The monthly bleeding thing, yeah, I ain't doing that. That's so much work. I think it's work. You remember Kate Gordon, which showed us that cup? Was it Kate Gordon or Emily Abbott? Someone showed us the cup. I'd probably do that. I'd do the cup thing. I'd like to ask a room full of black people, would you rather be black or Aboriginal? Would you rather be old or young? How about that? Can I just be a young black man? That's what I want to be. Thank you. Would you rather be a cuck or not a cuck? No one would choose to be an Armenian man. No one chooses that. Over being Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, or Michael Magic Johnson? What's Magic Johnson's name? I was going to call him Michael Johnson. Would you rather be Ben Carson or a little Armenian man? Ben Carson. Do you want to be Thomas Sowell or the white meth head that covered the streets of Santa Cruz? Thomas Sowell. Jackass. Ooh, I got all excited. I felt my skin start to get all like activated, like I was going to jump up. Oh, is Dream Rare? I was actually, Sevan, I know you hate screenshots. I sent you a DM with comments from Dream Rare on Vivek. I was thinking about having Dream Rare on. Is he hating on Vivek? That would bum me out. Let me see. Is he hating on? Damn. That would suck. Oh, I wonder if I can get Colton on. Can you come on the show tomorrow night? If you could come on it, like at 6:05 for a few minutes. I know it's late, so no stress if you can't or cannot. I'll say cannot. I sent Colton a text earlier today. Are you doing Rogue? He said, I'm doing the qualifier tomorrow. Haven't heard anything about an invite. Sorry, I don't normally read text, but I think this one's fine. I've taken the executive power to read it. Can you come in? And then I said, can you come in the show? Oh no, I don't want him to come in the show. Sorry, not come in, come on. Shit, I don't know if that sounds better. Jesus. I asked him to come on at 6:05 for a few minutes. Yeah, let's. It would be fun to. Oh no, Tank Reeves, Vivek is trash. Sevan. Oh no. Hey, look up what the Scientologists do. Kenneth DeLapp, how much niacin do I take before the sauna, Sevan? The first time I did it, I scared the shit out of myself. Be very careful. It was crazy. Look up what the Scientologists do. I got it from them. I haven't done it like in 25 years. It was fucking crazy though. What was I doing when I got distracted? I was going to go to my DMs and see what Dream Rare said about Oh shit! Someone did commentary on one of my videos. Oh, this is the caller. Oh, shit. Can I unread a DM? Shit. Darn it. How do I? Oh, unread. Okay. Oh, here we go. Oh no, that guy says Vivek killed it. I don't see what Dream Rare said. Sorry, I don't see where that is. Who sent me that? Where can I find that? All politicians can't be trash. They all can't be trash. It doesn't work like that. You can't just be like all Armenian dudes are trash. You can't do that, can you? You think there's like all cops are trash, or like all firefighters are trash? Like they just want to play with fire? Like, can be like all white dudes are trash? All straight people are trash? All rap stars are trash? All boxers are trash? I don't know if I can do that. Can't. Oh, you can't even prove all crows are black, because we haven't seen all the crows, even though it's pretty safe. Caller, hi.
Vaughn, Hank.
Hey, what's up, dude?
How you doing?
Good. Hi. Thanks for calling.
I just want to ask you, why do you like Vivek?
I want a guy who he wrote the book. What's it called? Like Unwokeism, or the woke book. And I listened to that audiobook.
He's very against the woke ideology, but have you seen his China policy?
I heard him say that he wants to get in between Russia and China instead of fighting with the Ukraine and forcing Russia and China to be friends. He wants to separate. He wants to separate that. He wants to befriend Putin so that it disturbs the relationship with Russia and China, which I think is important, right? Because because of the petrodollar and a bunch of other reasons, right? And that he also wants to get the semiconductor industry in the United States going, so that we don't feel this obligation to protect Taiwan. And that's kind of all I know about it.
Okay, well, no, he definitely wants to arm Taiwan, and he said it in numerous interviews where he wants to arm them to the teeth.
Okay.
So I really disagree with that, but I also disagree with his policy on Ukraine.
Tank, really quick, one question. Why can't it be both? Because I did hear him say that twice. Why can't he arm Taiwan, but also as a first move, but then also at the same time try to bring the semiconductor industry to the United States so that we don't have to continue to arm them? Because I heard him say that basically the way we live our life, and I'm taking this, as truth, is because of the semiconductors that we use that are made in Taiwan, and that basically they make like 95% of the world's semiconductors.
Okay, so are you under the impression that China and Taiwan are not one country?
Yeah, you think that's a misunderstanding?
Yeah, I mean they've been unified for I don't know how many years now. Like China looks at Taiwan as part of China.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, I understand that.
So they want to reunify it and it's the same kind of thing that happened in Ukraine, where there's factions of the Ukrainian government that have been basically infiltrated by this, nationalist movement that has kind of gotten a little extreme. And that's essentially what we don't see a lot of this over here, by the way. But that's essentially what's going on in Taiwan. Is there's factions in Taiwan that have this nationalistic movement that want to push away from China. It's very small, though. It's also the loudest.
Okay. Because the way I see the media is Taiwan does not want to be a part of China at all. But you're saying that that's the minority. You're saying that's just propaganda.
Yeah. I mean, I bet, like, if we actually could poll it, I bet you most would want to stay with China, especially right now, given the current. I mean, unfortunately, if you live in current, situation where America's getting weaker every day.
I think most people they're dumping money all over the planet and not taking care of their own people, just like in Canada here.
Right. I do think this though. I think I think humanity as a whole is also getting weaker every day. And so things
True.
are bad, but not as bad in the relative as we think.
Well,
do you know what I mean by
people
that?
are
Like,
yeah, I do. I think people are constantly, I think we all have our own narrative, and kind of like touched on what you said about, people's trans choices and stuff like that. And I'm the same. I'm with you. Like, I could care less what you want to be. I'm just not going to play the game, but that also shows that everybody kind of has their own narrative, and it's kind of like, the news that you see might be slightly different than the news that I see, might be slightly different than the news that my wife sees. It's very difficult. They're making it very difficult for us to kind of align in views, because they just constantly scatter us with different dialogues.
Tank, let me ask you this. Could you get behind someone you didn't think was perfect?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
because,
absolutely.
So what about, is there a candidate? Do you like I know you're not in the United States, but do you think that do you like the Constitution, and do you like the way we do things, and do you think that there is success with electing the correct president? It's even possible? No. Okay. So you don't even think it's possible?
Well, I mean, to me, the best candidate right now would be Trump, just because he's going to have the ability to walk into the White House and, know a simple thing of like where the pens are. He's been there before. He's going to be able to sit down and start making moves right away. And I think Vivek sounds good. I watched the whole thing last night, and he said all the right things. He was the only guy on stage that put his hand up when, they asked if they were going to continue to fund Ukraine. And he was like, no, he's like, there's people dying over there every day. And that's the reality of it, is whether you like Russia or not, whether you like Ukraine or not, both sides are dying. And numbers that people wouldn't even begin to understand.
Right.
And I like that he was one guy to stand up and realize these things. And he's also pushing back against the establishment, whereas all these other guys, they're all bought and paid for. Christie and DeSantis, and I mean, Nikki Haley, like, she's an absolute freaking warmongering joke. She literally takes her page right out of the Raytheon and Lockheed book. It's absolute disgusting joke. But
and she doesn't say anything. Her on climate change was pathetic. It was pathetic.
It's terrible.
Like, hey, if you believe in it, believe in it. If you don't. Well, don't walk this middle fucking line. Like, what are you doing?
No, I totally agree. I mean, the climate change thing. I mean, I live in Canada, man, and that's all we hear about here now. We just had fires about 2 hours away from me in Kelowna, BC. And man, that's all you heard about it. But the reality of it was arson. Sure. Okay. If there is climate change, and it has been relatively dry here, I will definitely admit that, but climate change doesn't cause arson.
And it doesn't. Oh, so, okay. But, and also there's always going to be climate change. It's a pointless thing to say. Like, the climate's always going to be changing. It's going to change year to year. It's just vapid, once again, woke talk. Like, hey, what are you really saying? Just say show me the numbers of what you're really, really talking about. And they can't.
Yeah.
Hey,
well, I mean,
guy, let me read this to you really quick, Tank. He says, Dreamware says Babek is Big Pharma CEO, which we know he is. He admits he is. Yeah. And he towed the line on vaccines. He tweeted George Soros op-ed over the last 2 years, basically saying he will play and say what he thinks the Republicans want to hear.
Yeah, I mean, Sevan, he came from Big Pharma. I mean, he built a pharma company,
right,
from scratch,
right.
So I can't remember what the podcast was, but I listened to him on a podcast, and he was chatting about, all the pharma that I made, that we made sure they were rigorously tested and blah blah blah, and they've been useless, but like, That's all fine and dandy, man. But like, you know,
He also said the
I don't
FDA.
know.
He
I
also
just
said the FDA and the CDC are completely corrupt. Recently, also, which is
yeah, I know. But they say it out of the side of their mouth, Sevan, because at the same time, you got like today, for example, you got Japan opening up the faucet on all their nuclear waste right into the ocean. You got the Nord Stream pipeline that was blown up, and they never said anything about climate then.
right.
You know,
Really,
They got this
Japan's
vicious war
pouring from that nuclear disaster they had. They're just pouring that shit into the ocean.
starting today. Yep, 1,000,000 tons of water is being poured into the ocean. It might be more actually. I might be understating it, but they're pouring it into the ocean, man. And like apparently now China's having a fit. They're like stopping any food coming from Japan. Like they're people don't want to hear it.
Japan begins release of radioactive wastewater from Fukushima nuclear plant.
Yeah. But you know, where's Greta saying, how dare you, to something like that? No, it's always conveniently placed propaganda. And I mean, unfortunately, it makes me so angry, but people have to wake the fuck up and we have to do something. We can all talk about it, which is good. And having dialogue is good, and having the vocabulary with your, you know, especially with people that are on the chat and stuff like that. Like, but you have to spread that. You have to talk to people, and you have to get the truth out there.
I wonder what contaminated nuclear water means. I wonder what the implications of that are. Like, does that mean all the fish are like real big and strong, like the Hulk?
Well, that'd be cool, but no. Apparently, that Grossi guy, the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy guy.
Yeah,
he came out and said you could drink this stuff out of a glass. It's no problem. Okay, well then, chug, have a couple sips and let's see how you do.
Yeah,
you know, he's the same guy that went to the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant in Ukraine and basically said that, I don't know who's shelling the factories here, but you know, we needed to stop. And clearly it was the Ukrainians shelling the fucking nuclear plant. And
their own nuclear plant?
You know,
their own nuclear plant?
Oh yeah, man. Oh God. I don't want to bash anybody's head against the wall with all this black pill bullshit, but just be aware, man. Protect your family. Prep a little bit. Prepare, because I think at a moment's notice, anything could happen. And if you're not prepared, I'll tell you right now, man, there's going to be a lot of people getting hungry in the next couple of years here with all these changes coming down the pipe. And like even today with BRICS, the BRICS Plus group, you know, they just brought on 6 new countries, all of which are tied to petrol, and it's going to crush the petrodollar. Like, American people don't realize what they're in for. It's only going to get worse, and I don't think you can vote your way out of it.
Chris Carter, this is how we get Godzilla.
Yeah, exactly.
Tank, let me ask you about one more quick thing. Do you believe in the aliens? UFOs?
Oh, God. I mean, I used to.
Well, so you're on the same page as like what someone in the comments wrote. I think it was Seema or someone wrote, aliens were a possibility until the government confirmed them. So basically that's kind of where you're at. When the government confirmed them, you're like, yep, these motherfuckers are in on that too.
Sevan, I've lost all trust in the government, man. And honestly, prior to the, you know, the whole disease that kind of got floating around there, I didn't even care less about government. You know, I only ever voted once.
Would you ever run for office? Would you ever run for office?
No. No, I'm an anarchist, man. I want the whole thing to be torn down, and I like I said, I do like Vivek because he is probably the guy that wants to tear the most of the establishment down.
Right.
But I just don't think he can. I think he's going to get in there and he's going to be handcuffed by bureaucrats upon bureaucrats, because it's all levels, right? It's like, you know, it's like when they send money over to Ukraine, say $100 billion. By the time it gets there, it's strained so many times that there's $100 fucking bucks left.
Hey,
you know,
Tank, did you hear the money laundering thing is really interesting. I don't know which show it was on, but maybe it was the Flat Earth guy. But whether this is true at 100% or in varying degrees, they basically were saying that he basically believes that the CIA and NASA are just money laundering operations, that basically it's a way to pump money into somewhere, claiming it's being used for one thing and then use it for something else. And when you start, and then of course that we've been told that's what is going on. That's what Libya was, and that's what Ukraine was, and that these are just basically, to some degree, all big money laundering operations. And
well,
whether it's done
right now,
intentionally or not, I think it's hard to deny. I mean, clearly the Pentagon is a money laundering operation on some degree. I mean, did you see that they did an audit and they don't know where like a third of the money was spent?
I know.
At that point, by default, it has to be considered a money laundering operation, whether it is or not. I mean, what's?
Well, it's 100%. I mean, it's really easy to tell when they're sending over all their old military garbage, essentially, right? Like the MIC is only going to get bloated. Like you look at it 2 years from now, let's say, if the war has ended by then, which who knows, but you know, all these countries have been sending over, you know, stuff from like the World War II. Like they've been sending over garbage stuff that the Ukrainians are using, and they're just going to get backfilled. Like all these NATO countries are going to have to buy new product. Like they want to send over F-16s from Netherlands and Denmark, and they're just going to, all they're doing that for is because it's literally stuff they want to get rid of and bring in the F-35s. You know, these Abrams tanks that the U.S. are sending there are fucking old. Like it's just, I feel bad for the Ukrainians.
You think it's like almost like how I take all, like someone, like I don't do it now, but like I would take all my clothes to the Goodwill and then get all new clothes.
Yep, and they'll give dribs and drabs of good, like those Storm Shadow. Like I'm right into this, but those Storm Shadow missiles and stuff like that. Like those are pretty high tech, but yeah, for the most part, it's basically the Value Village of military equipment.
So, well, thank you for calling. Good to hear your voice. Thank you.
Yeah, you too, man.
Okay.
Take care, Sevan.
Bye.
Bye now.
I like his voice. He's like, even though the conversation's kind of like dark and hopeless, he's like all positive and shit. Just all positive. Money's a trip. It's like time. Like people will say stuff like we're wasting money, but it's impossible to waste money. I mean, unless you burn it. It just keeps just turning into the economy. It's not being wasted somewhere. You wasted that money buying that $7 million Rolls Royce. Wasted it from whose perspective? Not the people who work at the Rolls Royce plant. Was that Jason Grubb? Oh, did it sound like him? Yeah, Tank is a good dude. I agree. Oh, that's a really good point. Logan just texted me something. I'm sure I can read it, but yeah, this is a really good point. Canadian conservatives have been beaten down for so long. They're incapable of seeing anything optimistic yet. Can you imagine being a conservative in Canada? Holy shit. It's like a Messiah complex, also known as the Christ complex or Savior complex, is a state of mind in which an individual believes that they are destined to become a savior or are responsible for saving or assisting others. The term is not addressed in the DSM as it is not a clinical term nor a diagnosable disorder. Messiah complex can refer to a person's belief that they can fix or save another person from their problems. The general definition of someone suffering from a savior complex is a person who feels responsible for saving or helping others, even if that provision of service is detrimental to one or both of those people over time. Wow, that sounds woke. Listen to this. The general definition of someone suffering from a savior complex is a person who feels responsible for saving or helping others, even if that provision or service is detrimental to one or both of the people over time. Dude, that's Black Lives Matter, defund the police. That's like those women who in their bios, those CrossFit women in their bios who say, "I'm doing this to save all women." Like, oh, you're going to the CrossFit Games to save all women? Wow. And in turn, you're just and then your whole entire Instagram account is full of soft porn pics, which I'm not saying in a derogatory way, but it's just a fact. And I'm from the generation when there used to be like Skinamax, like that soft porn shit, even though we didn't even have cable as a kid. Mom. But wow, that's the whole Democratic Party. I save women from what? Great question, Philip. I don't know. Someone sent that to me yesterday. A post from one of our from a female CrossFitter who was like, "I'm going to save all women. I'm doing this to save all women," or some shit. I'm like, wow. The term, and of course they don't say from what. Of course, that's a great question. They don't. The woke people never can point to anything specific. The term has ancient and controversial roots. If someone has a messiah complex, they may have good intentions, defund the police. But if they try to come to the rescue at their expense, or try to play savior for more self-serving reasons, such as desire to praise, power, or sense of worth. Wow, God, that's the whole thing of sacrificing your kids to virtue signaling. Holy shit! So that's what all those people have. They have the messiah complex. That's if you're a Democrat, you have the messiah complex. That's an entire That's entire political ideology. They just describe what it means to be a Democrat. We're going to defund the police because they are mean to people with melanated skin, and 2 years later, melanated skin on melanated skin shootings are up 34%. You can't keep a Nordstrom's open anywhere in the United States because they're just getting ransacked. Karina Pace. What's interesting about Sevan is the fact that his glasses and his nose actually are not one piece. Oh, thank you. And then look at. Ow. If there's one thing that I'm surprised about more than anything on this show, it's that no one ever comments on all the different glasses I wear. And I don't anyone get that twisted. I'm not asking you to. But you guys will comment on everything else, and it's like, I'm like, wow, I just shift my glasses around, and no one ever says anything. I mean, it's fine. I don't shift them around for any other reason except I'm just looking for a pair that aren't scratched or that I don't get bored of. What's interesting about Sevan is that he embodies so many of the characteristics that religions teach. Oh, you sound like my sister. But he arrived there through his own life experience, seems so genuine and real, so open-minded. Oh, thank you. It's not like I've never read the Bible. I listened to the audio Bible. It was like I listened to it on cassette tape. On a cassette player twice, and I read the Bhagavad Gita, and I listened to the Bhagavad Gita, and a bunch of other shit. Fucked around with the Quran, tons of gazillions of self-help books back in the day, Eckhart Tolle, shit like that. Sevan, you fancy as fuck Persals. I don't know what that is. Shut it, David. You shut the. Hey gays. He gay. I'm gonna read that as he gay. Slater, no one cares about glasses. Only hogs. Oh, these. Is that what these are called? God, I want to just fucking cock slap David. I want some really hot chick fanning me with a palm branch, and my wife feeding me grapes, and then me cock slapping you at the same time in the face. How's that, David? Picture that. Close your eyes and picture that. Where I saw. Okay, here we go. Jedediah Snelson. God's just taking Sevan on his own journey. He'll get there when it's time. Oh, that's awesome. All right. I think I'm done. I got to make room for want me to call. Should I call Taylor or JR, see what they're going to talk about today? Yeah. Oh, shit. I have to pee all of a sudden. It just hits me like a freight train. 2 cups of coffee this morning. Who should I call? Taylor or JR? I'll start with Taylor. And then if neither of them will answer, I'll go to the third string. What's his name? Mr. Brandstetter. The ultimate hipster. I started the show being like, why do people think this is a conspiracy show? And now I kind of get it. I answered my own question. This is a fucking it's a high level conspiracy show. We talk about how, I don't know. Oh shit, it sounds like I'm calling a foreign land. Why is it ringing like that? Am I calling Laura Horvat? That's what it sounds like when you call the South. They probably don't recognize the phone number, so they're not answering.
Hey, this is Taylor.
No, it's not Taylor. JR. Howell. Let's call JR. Let's see if do you have to dial 1 first? No.
Hi, you reached Howell, the primary contact for call.
How the fuck am I supposed to promote your show? Answer the fucking phone. Wow. 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 Someone just sent me a picture of their hair. My goodness. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Is that real? Wow. Can I talk about this? Can I talk about this? Wow. My wife said you're having a great hair day. Thank you. Hey, what's the deal with masks? Are they bringing masks back? Sevy, where are the good breakfast and Bloody Mary? Are you in town? If you're in town, come to Dory's Deli. Are you here, Philip? Did you get your blood work yet? What's going on? Text me. Do you have my number? Text me if you have my number. Okay. Fuck. All right. Fair enough. All right. I've arrived. Okay. Yeah. Text me. Come to Newport. Come towards the water. Well, I can look for Dory's Deli. I'm right by there. I'll meet you over there. I'd love to have a Bloody Mary. I have a Bloody Mary and go on a long walk. You want to walk a couple miles with me? Watch the kids skateboard along the beach. Jake Chapman, Sevan, you look like if Robin Williams was gay. Are you kidding me? I'm the straight version of Robin Williams. Oh. Oh, sweet. Okay. That's cool. Oh, I'm going to go I'm going to go have a Bloody Mary with Philip Kelly and my kids. Oh, and I'm going to see Philip Kelly's penis. He's got his joggers on. That's cool. Okay, that's good. Sweet. I'm talking to Philip Kelly in the chat and texting. I'll head over towards you. Sweet. That's awesome. I have to drink by myself this morning. Thank you, Kenneth. More of a Sean Connery look. Let's leave it with that. Love you guys. 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, hour and 45 minutes. J.R. Howell, Taylor Self, Will Brandstetter, Robbie Myers, 1999. Thank you. Bye-bye.